A late night pizza delivery, it sounds pretty normal, right? But tonight, we're going to talk about a story where one simple order leads to something absolutely terrifying, an encounter that really defies explanation. Now, before we jump in, I've got to tell you, this whole story is supposedly based on a true incident. Yeah, this isn't just a made up campfire tale. Someone claims they actually went through this. So, our story kicks off with a simple phone call. Pretty mundane, right? But this call, this was the one that was going to change everything for our guy. All right, so let's meet John. He's just a regular college kid, working a part-time job delivering pizzas, trying to make some extra cash. And on this one particular night, well, he has no idea what's coming for him. And the time is so important here. It's 1 in the morning, 1 a.m. He's just finished a super long shift. He's exhausted, ready to hit the hay, and his guard is totally, completely down. So just as he's about to lock up, the phone rings. And on the other end, it's this weird, kind of hushed voice. They place a huge order, 4 large pizzas. The address? Way out on the edge of the city. But here's the catch. They promise a really, really big tip. And John, he needs the money. So against his better judgment, he takes the order. And just like that, John heads out. But as he leaves the bright, familiar lights of the city behind him, the trip itself starts to feel wrong. Like he's driving into something dark and unsettling. And the further he goes, the more alone he gets. The paved roads just disappear. Now he's on this deserted dirt path. The streetlights are gone. It's just him in total darkness on his way to some address he's never even heard of. So he finally gets there, and this place, it's not just a house. It's this old, crumbling building, almost being eaten alive by overgrown weeds and plants. There's not a single light on. It looks like it's been abandoned for years. You can just feel the dread coming off of it. Okay, so every single instinct in his body is just screaming at him to get out of there. He even tries calling his manager, desperate for any excuse to turn back. But nobody picks up. He's completely on his own now, with 4 pizzas and this absolutely terrible feeling deep in his gut. But he reluctantly decides to just get it over with. He gets out, walks towards the house, and this is where things get weird. This is where reality just starts to completely fall apart. He takes a couple of steps toward the door, and boom, a single dim light flickers on inside. For a second, he probably thinks, oh, okay, someone's home. He rings the doorbell, but nothing happens. He's about to just leave, but then the door just slowly creaks open, all by itself. So, very carefully, he steps inside. The hall is totally empty, and then, out of nowhere, a black cat just darts out from under a sofa and runs into another room. And the second it does, the light and the TV in that room flick on. And he hears it, the sound of kids laughing. It sounds playful, but it's just so wrong. At this point, he's probably thinking it's some stupid prank, right? He's annoyed. He walks into that room, and there they are. 2 little girls, just sitting on a bed, staring at him. Not saying a word, not moving a muscle, just watching him with these big, unblinking eyes. He asks them, hey, can an adult come and pay for the pizza? And in that exact moment, their eyes turn completely solid white. And that silent stare just erupts into this horrifying, unnatural laugh. And then they both just raise a hand and point, right at the doorway behind him. John turns around, and standing right there, blocking his only way out, is this terrifying female figure. His heart just stops. The pizzas, they crash to the floor. Okay, now it's pure adrenaline. There's no thinking, no plan. It's just that primal instinct to run, to get away. This is literally him fleeing for his life. He bolts. He just sprints out of that house, scrambles onto his bike, and tears down that dark dirt road as fast as he can. He doesn't dare look back. But then, after just a short way, his bike sputters and dies. And when he glances in his rearview mirror, he sees them, the woman and the 2 little girls, just standing there in the middle of the road, watching him. He doesn't even think. He abandons the bike and just runs, plunging into the pitch black woods. He's running blind, tripping over roots, just praying he makes it out alive. He hides behind a tree, absolutely terrified, until finally, he hears it, that beautiful distant sound of police sirens. So help has arrived, John is safe, but the story is far from over, because what the police find out, and what John learns the next day, is somehow even more disturbing than what he just saw. He actually leads the police back to that house. They do a full, thorough search, inside and out, but they find nothing. No people, no girls, no woman, no TV on. The only living thing in that whole place is a single wildcat. The house is completely, utterly empty. The next morning, the police deliver the final, bone-chilling piece of the puzzle. It turns out, 3 years ago, a mother and her 2 young daughters lived in that very house. And one night, all 3 of them were brutally murdered inside. The house has been abandoned ever since. And just like that, it all clicks into place. It's horrifying, but it makes perfect sense. The weird voice on the phone, the little girls, the terrifying woman. John wasn't the target of some elaborate prank. He had just delivered pizza to ghosts. As you can imagine, John quit his job right then and there. That experience just left him permanently scarred. I mean, how could it not? He's still haunted by the memory of those white-eyed girls and that figure in the doorway. And so that's it. That's the story of John's fateful delivery. A truly terrifying brush with the other side. But it leaves us with one last, really unsettling question, doesn't it? The spirits, they were obviously there, trapped in that house. But the crime that put them there, it was never solved. So who murdered that family? That's something we may never ever know.